Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be why you should or shouldn't stay with your girlfriend. Well, I've got one email I'm going to go through with you today, and this particular guy, he's been in a relationship with his girlfriend for about 3 years. So before he met her, he spent several years playing the field. Obviously, after he came across my work, was doing great. And then he had a rotation of girls. And then this particular girl, who's now his girlfriend of 3 years, just happened to be the most easygoing, easy to get along with. And he just slowly over time spent more of his time with her and less time with the other girls, and eventually got serious. And they get along great. The only problem is all these years later, he's feeling like he wants to be single again. So he brings up some good points here. So let's go through his email, because this really is like, why would you want to stay with somebody for longer than a few years? Or when should you choose to be married? When should you choose to move in together, have kids? What is it that you want long term? Because remember, in anything in life, we got to know what we want. We got to know why we want it. And then once we know why we want it, then obviously we got to set a plan in motion to make it a reality. Same thing comes for your personal life. What's your outcome? What do you want? What do you want to create for yourself? He says, hi, Corey, I have a question I was hoping you would answer in one of your future videos. Number one, you've talked about how good girls are hard to come by, and how when you meet a good, genuine people that are no drama, make you feel loved, wanted, needed, desired, appreciated, etc., that you should keep them around and not throw them away so easily, because you have enough emotionally compelling reasons to stay together. Number two, you've also talked about when you feel like you are missing out, then maybe you should go back to dating if that feeling is wrong. The need to sample what's out there, test drive enough cars, etc. I have been with my current girlfriend since November of 2019. And before I met her, I was dating multiple women and had been doing that for a long time and loving it. She was my favorite girl that I was seeing at the time, and I had finally found myself wanting to spend more time with someone. This was not only due to the fact that she was absolutely stunning, but because she was so emotionally mature and everything was effortless, flowing the cycle of hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. Well, one thing I want to mention about that, about a relationship being effortless, is like, what kind of a home did you grow up in? Did your parents get along well? Were they both in the home, or was it full of chaos and drama? So if your family life typically was full of chaos and drama, you are going to be more emotionally familiar with chaos and drama. You're going to feel emotionally anchored to it. That's going to feel normal to you. An easy and effortless relationship where things are going pretty well, you get along well, you resolve your differences of opinion very easily and effortlessly, and there's really not much conflict. In that type of a relationship, if you came from a background where there's lots of chaos, that's not going to feel normal to you. It's going to feel like something may be wrong or something may be missing just because you're used to drama. So that's one thing you need to consider. How are you responding to her? Is it starting to feel like something's missing? Because again, if you were emotionally anchored to chaos and drama and difficulty in your relationships, and then you got easy and effortless, that's just not going to feel natural. But that's the way things should be if you made a good choice and you vetted the girl properly. He says she never pushed or rushed anything, which I think is one of the main reasons I ended up naturally flowing into an exclusive relationship. Yeah, women like that just make it easy. They're in no hurry, they're in no rush, they don't pressure you. They ask you, they tell you what they want, but if you're not ready, they're cool with it and they stick around and they give you the benefit of the doubt. They don't nag. They don't create problems. They don't get butthurt and passively, aggressively withhold sex from you, or be difficult, or not call you back, or not kiss you on the way out because they're mad for whatever reason. He says, within that time of being in a relationship and up to now, going through a pandemic and lockdowns together, we only proved how compatible we are, and again, how easy and effortless it is to be with someone who displays all of those characteristics from point number one. My problem is with point number two. I have been battling the urges for some time now. We are obviously past the honeymoon period, but I have no complaints about the relationship. I love my relationship and the sex life is great. but I cannot help myself feel that the want and urge to be back out dating again, even though one would argue I have tested enough cars as I spent years single on purpose for that very reason. He says, this has lasted several months and has been building up more and more, and I know I need to be showing up and giving 100% for my girlfriend to continue making the relationship spectacular. To do this, I need to be of this mindset, but I'm not sure I can change this urge, and I feel myself no longer feeling content, even though I have everything I have wanted. Well, that's like I said, what I was talking about earlier. If you're used to things being a mess, and then you get in a relationship with somebody where it's not a mess, it's not going to feel normal to you to be in an easy, effortless relationship. It's like you're looking for the chaos. The chaos is what's missing. The difficulty, the not getting along, the passive aggressiveness, not communicating well, her being mad or upset, giving you the silent treatment, whatever it happens to be. Or worse, I mean, we've had so many emails over the years where there's cheating, there's lying, there's deviousness, there's getting jacked around, there's girls having male orbiters, there's just all this stuff in society that we all have to deal with because we're trying to vet and find somebody that we're compatible with. And so this, where we're at now in this guy's email is, so it's like, what is your long-term outcome? What do you want? Are you just looking for a girlfriend? Do you want a family man? Do you want to be a family man? Do you want a family? Do you want to have kids? And so in a situation like this, everything going the way it should be, I know a lot of the guys are listening to this going, what's the problem, dude? And lots of guys would love to have what this particular guy has. And so the reason he should stay with her long term would be because it sounds like she'd be a good person to have a family with if that's what she wants and if that's what he wants. But if you don't have any intention of having kids or you don't have any desire to have children with her, for whatever reason, you should not stay with her. Because obviously, the longer you stay with her, the more you eat up her biological clock time. And so if she wants to have kids someday and you don't, it's not fair to her, or to you for that matter, to stay in a relationship with her. That's where knowing your outcome is. What do you want? And so, like for me personally, I've moved over the last 20 years, moved around a lot, dated internationally a lot, never was stuck in one place for more than a couple of years. And so when you live that kind of lifestyle, you're kind of a nomad. And so dating casually or dating for a couple of years and then moving on, that's more aligned with that kind of a lifestyle. But when you're planted in one area, because obviously I'm getting older now, I'm going to be 53 in a few months, I think about what am I going to leave behind? Do I want to have kids? Would I like to be a dad of my own? I've gotten the experience of being a part-time dad, which I've written about, which was wonderful, is life-changing. But at this point in my life, the things that I think about is, would this woman be a good person to have children with or not? That's the thing that I think of at this point in my life. When I was moving around a lot and I was kind of like this guy was, playing the field, having a good time, I really didn't. That's why I never settled down. That's why I never got married. It didn't feel like it was time for me to do that. And I've learned to trust my heart and my intuition and what feels right for me. But that's just me. That's my journey and what I feel. You have to think about what's important to you. And so in this case, if you don't have any desire to have children or you don't want to have children with her, if you can't see her as being the mother of your children, then yeah, you should dip out. But if you want to have kids and you would love to have her as a mother of your children, you want your babies to look like her, then I would stick around for this. But it's normal to see other attractive women go, what's that like? But like I said, to me in your situation where you're at, the deciding factor would be, do you or don't you want to have kids with her? If you don't want to have kids with her, then you should dip. And if you'd like to have kids and you'd like to see her as a mother of your children, then you should stay with her. But keep in mind, life isn't all sunshine and roses. You're not going to be happy and then completely head over heels in love and feel butterflies in your stomach every day. That, like I said, that typically lasts 6 to 12 months. And as he said, he's long since passed the honeymoon period. Now it's, does he want to stay with her or not? What do you see yourself with a future with her? Do you want to build a future with her? Because if you leave and you start dating around, a girl like this is probably going to get snapped up by somebody else. So you have to think about that. But if you truly want to stay single and you truly want to date and explore other women, and and you really enjoyed that because of where you're at that point in your life, then I would say you should go back to that particular lifestyle. And so for me, when I've been stable and lived in a city, like when I was younger, I tended to have much longer relationships when I, especially like my early 20s, early 30s, when I was living in one city, one house for many years. I typically had girlfriends that lasted like that as well. But as I moved around a lot and moved cities and figured out what I wanted to do with my life, where I wanted to live, after I got out of being in real estate and having business partners and being stuck in one place and having the ability to date internationally and experience different cultures, it's been a really cool experience. But like I said, I'm coming back to this point in my life now. I've lived in the same place now for about 4 years. And so my goals, my outlook on things has changed. And so that's part of the vetting process. And the women that I date is, can I see myself having her as the mother of my children? Would I be proud to have her as a woman raising my kids or not? That's what you really need to look at. But again, all goes back to what's your outcome? What do you personally want? Without having other people trying to influence you and make you feel bad or make you feel guilty about what you want. He says, I stress that this has nothing to do with not being able to do my own thing or not spending enough time apart, as she has always been great with any of this. He says, I have a great social life with my mates. I have several hobbies and enjoy lots of time that does not involve my girlfriend. She's very relaxed and lets me be the man I want to be. Really appreciate any wisdom, advice you could share on my current understanding of what you teach in this particular subject. Again, it just goes back down to what's your outcome. What do you want? Would she be a good mother to your children? Would you want to co-parent with her? Would you want to, because at the end of the day, the kids, your children, the idea is if you have children, it's you're trying to create better human beings than you and your girl. You want them to be happier, have a better quality of life, be smarter, have cooler friends, have more experiences. And then so when you finally shuffle off this mortal coil, if you will, you can do it with a smile on your face on what you left behind, that you left the world a little bit better than when you found it. But again, it's up to you. What do you want? I'm a life coach. My job as a coach is not to judge you or make you feel guilty one way or another. It's to help you achieve your outcome. And that's up to you. You got to put your big boy pants on and make a decision. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.